Then we have the 2026 WIAA Boys State Tournament for Division 4. So we have number 9 seed Prairie Farm Klein. He then rates Randsburg 54-9. Then Prairie Farm Klein upset the number 1 seed Colfax 77-76. Smith upset the number 5 seed Glenwood State 52-36. McDonald Catholic 62-51 over Cumberland. McDonald Catholic won 59-44 over Smith. And they beat Prairie Farm Klein 69-37. Then Shellike 66-37 over Boys. Chuck Weiser House 70-64 Shellike. And then Unity 74-66 over Cameron. Clear Lake 61-4 over Unity. And Clear Lake 55-41 over Chuck Weiser House. Then Amory McDonald Catholic played Clear Lake. Clear Lake won 78-62. Then Fall Creek took on Mondovi after Mondovi beat Mindoro 60-53. Fall Creek beat Mondovi pretty convincingly 62-38. Then Augusta 45-43 over Whitehall and upset. Then Durant Arkansas 54-40 over Cadet. Then Arkansas 61-40 over Augusta. Then Durant Arkansas upset on run seed in the bottom half of the bracket. Section 1 in Division 4, 47-46. Then Osseo Fairch played Luther after Luther beat Spring Valley 62-49. Then Luther upset Osseo Fairch at 61-60. Bangor beat Oliva Storm 61-51. Then Rigas 91-80 over Bangor. Then Rigas 99-70 over Luther. Then at Oakland Memorial, Rigas 63-43 over Renard. The first was then Clear Lake played Rigas. Osseo Fairch and Rigas won 78-58 the 2 seed in that region. Battled out. And then let's put the section of 2. Phillips, number 9 seed, followed number 8 seed Colby. 60 on top at the bracket. Then Marathon beat Colby in about 8-42. Spencer 50-40, 50-49 over Crandon and 66-56 or Sheffield. The Marathon 66-55 over Spence. Then Auburndale beat Abbotsford 8-50. Auburndale upset Neosville 60-53. And Edgar 71-50 over Jamokan. And Hurley 60-52 over Edgar. And Hurley beat Auburndale in overtime. 1 overtime 53-40. And then Marathon 61-40 over Hurley at Lakeland. And then in the bottom half there, Manoa 57-53 over Wague. From upseas, screening from Prebium. And then Kiwani 73-44 Manoa. And then Algoma 73-50 or Silver. Seymour Catholic 75-60 over Algoma. And then Kiwani 71-60 over Seymour Catholic. And then Coleman beat the Crickets 54-18. And Alaska and Navy 73-44 below Crickets. Akanto 70-66 over Shutan. And then Bando 82-40 below. And then Bando beat Alaska and Navy 70-65. And at Kokanawa, Bando beat Kiwani 73-62. Then Bando beat Marathon at DCR 78-60. And in Division Section 4, Sectionals 3 and 4, Valleyville beat Broadhead 60-53. Darlington and then Darlington blew Valleyville 84-42. Cuba City 83-50 over Purdue Sheen. And Iowa Grant 66-62 over Cuba City. And then Darlington 75-42 over Iowa Grant. And then Deerfield 66-36 over Skyline Heights. Brookview 65 over Deerfield. Then more. Blew out Lincoln Academy 78-20. Cambridge 61-51 over Brookview. Or over Fenmore, Cambridge 61-51 over Fenmore. And then Cambridge 78-55 over Brookview. And at Dodgerville, Darlington played Cambridge. Cambridge won 64-58. And then Nakusa 50-42 over Nisida. And Lamar 77-33 went over Nakusa. And then Ponnet 87-40 over Wayland County. And Marquesian 56-51 over Ponina. And then Lamar 8-60 over Marquesian. And then Marshall 95-39 over Montello. And then Purdyville 64-42 over Marshall. And then Waterloo 65-60 over Dodgen. Horicon 75-33 over Waterloo. And then Purdyville 75-53 over Horicon. And then at Portage, Lamora 67-54 over Purdyville. That was on Wednesday. And then at Verona, Cambridge played Lamora, and Cambridge won 56-56. And then the regional. And then section of 4. Valders fell St. Mary Springs 76-1. And Hubbard's Grove beat St. Mary Springs about 81-47. Kohler blew out Michigan 82-40. And Winnebago Lutheran won 76-62. Then Howard's Grove beat Winnebago Lutheran 87-1. Then Viagra Oshkosh fell to Lacona. 62-45. Ranakali 58-42 over Lacona. And then Amaro 85-53 over Holstein. Mental Lutheran 74-66 over Amaro. And Ranakali 75-54 over Mental Lutheran. That Children Howard's Grove beat Ranakali 57-52. And Waki Juno defeated Kenosha Christian Life 7. After Kenosha Christian beat Destiny 73-60. And Waki Juno beat them 79-32 Kenosha Christian Life. As Waki got forfeit win over Random Lake. And Northern Lutheran beat them 65-40. And Waki Juno beat Willingboro Lutheran 81-60 and below. And the Prairie School defeated Salem 61-50. And then Dominican beat the Prairie School 74-61. Heritage Christian beat Plains 8-42. Zero Belgium beat Heritage Christian 77-50. Then Zero Belgium 81-70 over Dominican. And Waki Lutheran, Waki Juno beat Zero Belgium 79-63. And at Hartford Union, Howard's Grove played Waki Juno, and Waki Juno won 75-69 in Division 4. And then Cambridge beat Bondo 71-49 in Division 4 semifinals. And then Waki Juno 72-54 win over Rigas. And then in the Division 4 championship game, Waki Juno defeats Cambridge 62-54. So the number 2 seed, Waki Juno, and the 4 sectional winners get reseeded in the state tournament, semifinals and final. And Waki Juno won 62-54. And now all we have next is the Division 5 semifinals. So we'll do that in the final video.